Welcome to The Point of View. This is your favorite current affairs show here on Channel 1 Television. On The Point of View, pick the right topics, get the right guests, and ask them relevant questions on issues that matter to you. We have a different kind of show for you tonight. We're going to track the development of a river body in Ghana, a very important river, the fate of which has become emblematic of the challenge of Ghana's water resources. The Ghanaian Times this morning reported that Ghana's water resources were diminishing at an alarming rate from 1,900 person in 2016 to 1,600. One of our colleagues here at Channel 1 Television has traveled the length of the river Ayensu and came up with some very troubling findings. He's going to walk us through what he saw. Later on, we'll speak to the Ghana Water Resources Commission to put into context how and siege, and then we'll see where that leaves us. Stay with us.
Remember who we are seeing now. At risk of prostate enlargement. We remember or her 20 ebitimi prostate cancer. 5 bitimi afamu nadia obefamu.
Actually, this is not my fault.
And to wada, entina midi maniche Executive Prostate Center.
Executive Prostate Center is a unique medical center where we harmonize in-depth traditional medicine with cutting-edge science and technology to cure, to treat, and to prevent diseases like prostate enlargement, prostate cancer.
Executive Prostate Center. Madame home. Facilities no any professional medical care.
Sisi a bibia clear system ni. Ye nro ne so de e natural. Into we koso afa ma ye.
Executive Prostate Center. My cured.
Announcing Ghana's first unlimited photocopier leasing. Yes, from just 983 Ghana cedis, you can lease a multifunctional photocopier and print unlimited. Yes, unlimited and free paper every month. Guess what? That's not all. Toners, repairs, and maintenance all are free. And oh, I'm not kidding at all. And we cover the whole country. Yes, the whole country. What are you waiting for? Just visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Valix Lease, affordable document management solutions.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, mommy.
The second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late, of course. Coffee be the luckiest. Coffee from Georgia be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you coffee be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be that luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God apple boom. If you put it to so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Hey! Is that his car? Everywhere.
Dial *712#. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Welcome back. So tonight we're putting the microscope on Ghana's water resources. Yesterday was World River Day, and there was a big event to commemorate that. At that event, the head of policy, planning, research, and evaluation at the Water Resources Commission, who will be joining us later on, made some startling revelations about the state of Ghana's water bodies. He says Ghana is facing a sharp decline in water resources, with water stress levels dropping from about 1,900 cubic feet per person in 2016 to 1,500 today. Now, this was Dr. Mauli Lumo, who addressed a gathering to mark the day in Accra. He explained that while the country's renewable water resources remain fairly constant, the growing population and destructive human activities are putting enormous pressure on water availability. He said if urgent action were not taken, Ghana could reach dangerously low levels of water, forcing the government to impose strict sanctions on individual water use. He will join us later on during the show to throw more light on this. But we have a very interesting case study of the stress our water bodies are facing. In fact, in the course of the program, Dr. Lumo explained that some water treatment plants in the central region has shut down because water levels had become so low. He spoke about pollution, illegal mining, poor land use practices, and general pollution. So where we're going to start? We're going to start from the central region. And my colleague David Kwekusechi has been touring the length of the river Ayensu. He did a photo report of what he saw, and is here to tell me what he saw across that journey. Kweku, thanks for joining the program.
Thank you for having me.
So in your previous life, you were a photographer.
Yes, I was.
So I guess that's why you chose to do a photo story.
Yes.
Tell me about it. Where did you go? What did you
Okay, so there's no better way to tell the story except through capturing images, because it immortalizes the moment and allows you to interpret it over time, right? So I started from Kaswa, branched right through Bojoase, and went to Okitso. Okitso is the first town where we stopped to take pictures. Now, just a little bit of a background with the Ayensu River, because we're looking at the river Ayensu. Now, Ayensu River takes its source from the Bunso Hills, which is an extension of the Itiwa Range. Okay, so that's Eastern region. So the Ayensu courses through Eastern, Central, and Western regions, these three. Now, the Ayensu happens to be roughly just shy of 100 kilometers long. So it's about 98 kilometers long. And it terminates at Winneba in a little village called Warabeba. And that's where it terminates. So from Bunsu to Warabeba.
So from Eastern region
yes,
to the Central region.
Yes, through Western as well. But
which means it's not that far from Accra.
No, it's not.
Because you branch off at Kasoa.
Yes.
And when you got to Bojoase, you realize that you're not far from the river.
Exactly.
Okay. This is important because a lot of times when we discuss water and Galamsey, it seems very far from those in the capital. All right. Now, before I come to the pictures you have, which I know are many, I'd like you to explain what you just said by coming to the map.
Okay.
So that people can get a sense of what you're talking about.
Okay.
So if you can just move to the map and show me exactly where you are, what you're saying.
Okay,
yes.
so we're looking at, let's look for Bunsu at the moment. We're looking at Bunsu. Bunsu is in the Eastern region.
Yes.
So it's in this sort of area here. I don't know if you can help me locate where Bunsu is. Then we can start.
So we have Ayensu district where the yellow.
Yes, the Ayensu is where
is way south. So Bunsu is up north.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is Bunsu. This is Bunsu.
So Bunsu Hills is part of the Itiwa Range.
Wonderful.
But that's the source of the Ayensu River.
Wonderful.
Incidentally, there are three rivers that come from that area. So the Densu and the Brim also come from there.
So the Densu, the Brim, and the Ayensu all take their source from the Itiwa.
Yes, from the Itiwa
area.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And then you decided to start your journey from which part of the Ayensu River?
So let's say somewhere midway.
Midway.
Yes. So that's Bojoase heading towards Aguna Suedro. On that route, we hit the town of Okitso.
So the river starts on the Eastern region and terminates at Winneba.
Yes.
98 kilometers.
Yes.
All right. So show me the districts we're talking about. So you're saying Okitso is in Gomwa?
Gomwa East.
Gomwa East.
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
And so when you got to Okitso, what did you see? What are you looking to find?
So, well, basically, I went with you know, how do you say, carte blanche.
Yes.
My mind was clear. I just wanted to see what was there, and what was happening. So got there, got out of the vehicle to go and look at the river there, and lo and behold, this chocolate brown looking thing just coursing through the land, you know, and it's very upsetting in a certain sense, because you're used to seeing clean fresh water passing through green vegetation, right? So to see this brown, it was almost out of place.
All right, so if you can reduce the map and show me the places you went to along the river course.
Okay.
Because I'm also told that there are some water treatment headworks along the course of the river.
Yes.
So if you can put that together for me, then I'll have a general broad overview of the journey before we get into
so let's look at the zoomed out image, and then let's go to Okito. We'll look at the zoomed out image.
So there's Ayensu River.
Yeah, so the Ayensu River is passing here. But let's zoom out and then go in to look at what we have.
Wonderful.
Okay.
So keep going.
So we have Mankron Kwantai. That was another place that we went to. The map is doing its own thing. Okay. And then we have down here. Okay, there we have it. Okay, so let's go towards the sea. Let's turn it so that we have the sea in the right location. There we go. Okay, so we'll zoom out a little bit, and we see our towns. Okay, so Ayensu is out there, but that's not part. That was not my interest. My interest was where the river is. So we're looking at Okito, as you can see Okito here.
Okay.
And then we went through Mankron Kwanta, and then you have the Kwenyako Headworks.
So the Kwenyako Headworks is firmly in the Ayensu.
Yes, it's along the Ayensu. The Ayensu supplies the headworks.
So you came down from Okito.
Yeah, so Okito to Mankron Kwanta.
To Kwenyako.
There are other smaller villages, but then and then we came to Kwenyako.
From there, where did you go?
So from there we went to Faumanye.
Okay.
Yes.
And then where else did you go?
And then we started to head south towards the sea. So then
you went all the way to Winneba.
Yes.
98 kilometers or part of the
Panfo Chrome. All right. All the way down to Winneba.
So I want you to show me some of the things you saw.
Yes.
As you took the photos, before I speak to Dr. Mauli Luma from the Water Resources Commission.
Yeah.
So what is this?
So this is there's a bridge at Okito, and so we stood on the bridge and showed this is the south side of the river that we are looking at. So this is what's heading towards Mankron Kwanta.
All right.
Yes, and so that's what you can see there. You can see, and now the thing about this is that for a lot of people, when you see Galamsey water, it appears to be maybe water that's colored.
Yeah.
You know, colored water, but it's silt that is refusing to settle.
Is silt refusing to settle?
Silt that is refusing to settle.
Okay.
You know,
this is what you saw.
That's what you are seeing. Yes.
Silt that refusing to settle. Okay.
And you,
So what else did you see in Okito, or where else did you go after that?
This one I found quite interesting because you have a pipe here which is supposed to carry water.
Oh, so this thing is a it's a pipe.
It's a water pipe.
Was water in it?
But there's there can't be water in it because it's coming from the Kwenyako Headworks, which is shut down.
So it was empty.
Yes.
I see.
So that's what we have here. I think we can move on. Let's
move on.
Yes.
So what is this? Same place?
Same place. Let's go to Aguna Oseidu. Aguna Oseidu is still before Mankron Kwanta. So again, so you can see what you're having here. So all the towns along the way, this is what they're experiencing, you know. And after Aguna Oseidu, then we go to Akokwa.
So, but is it a bridge people still use?
Yeah, it's a bridge. That's a bridge people use. Yes,
people use a bridge. Okay.
Yes, and in fact, there was a person from the village there who said to us, because he thought we were doing a news story. So he said to us, "Munkancha or number flexible because you no air break." Okay. You know, the children cause that.
So you're saying this is not just brown water by silt?
Yes.
What is going on here?
Okay, so we can see a collapsed bridge. But for me, the interesting thing is not so much the dilapidation here, but what you're seeing here. This is a story of silt, because a river that is in motion, if the silt wasn't that heavy, should not be leaving deposits like this.
So there are deposits on the rocks?
It's a lot of heavy deposits
in
the river that's leaving on the rocks.
Okay.
And you can see some here as well.
So generally it should be smoother and greener.
It should be looking greenish like this.
Okay. But a lot of it is silt.
It's silt that is sitting on the rocks. Yes.
Did you capture how people use the water?
Yes.
Is this water they drink or they just cross it? What do they use the water for?
So people use the water to bath. They use it. So we can look at I have what we call human activity.
Human activity.
Yes. So human activity. I saw people bathing in the river itself. Okay.
In the river?
Yes, I saw people bathing in the river.
Can you show me that?
Yes, so we'll see.
So this is still Akokwa?
This is Akokwa. Okay, so this is an interesting picture.
Yeah.
So you have a site, probably maybe some construction is going to happen there. All these jerry cans are empty. There's no water.
There's no water.
There's no water.
I see.
So it was fascinating for me because it tells the story.
This is where?
Now, this is in that same enclave, Kwenyako. Now, it's actually what they call Mema Edwaria.
Mema Edwaria.
Yes. Now I remember Edwaria because in the village setting, what we have is where the men bath and where the women bath.
Okay.
Now men typically will bath in the northern side of the river. That means the side where the water is flowing
upstream.
From upstream.
Okay.
And then the downstream side, the southern side, which is so eti and the anafo, So then the women will bath southern side. So this is where the boys and the men
were they bathing near the river or in the river?
In the river. You will see a shot
with
where
soap?
you see that. Yes, with soap. So
they were bathing the brown water?
Oh, yeah, bathing the brown water. So you see this guy here, I had a conversation. So there's a gentleman there happily bathing.
Seriously?
Ojari.
So this is a wider area of rocks?
Yes, a wider shot.
So they are bathing in the river?
Yes. Some are playing, some are having fun, some are washing, different things.
Are they bathing because they don't have water flowing through their taps, or this is where they usually bath?
So typically, there's no water in their village passing through taps.
Okay. So this is
so
like
they
a normal
come down to the riverside
and they bath.
To bath. So in times past, the water would have been clear and nice.
But now they are bathing brown water.
It's brown water, but
with silt in it.
With silt in it, yes.
Did you know you were filming him?
Oh, he did. He waved at me.
He waved at you?
He waved at me first, and then he saw the camera. He waved at me, and then he turned around. He adjusted his shorts. I turned around and started bathing.
What? So all these people are there to bath?
So they're doing different things. This guy looks as if he's about to pee in the water. These guys are playing around. They were just playing around in the water.
Wow. All right. So what about other uses of the water?
So you saw the guy who was washing his shoes.
So what is going on here?
Okay.
Go to Pamfo Chrome.
We'll get to, yeah.
I want to do they use the water to cook or anything?
Yes, so they use the water to cook. So that lady there, I asked her about what she was, why she's fetching the water. This one, there's a little girl here, and then a boy, and then she herself.
So what's happening here?
So she's just fetched water, filled.
Is this the same Ayensu?
No, this is the same Ayensu.
So you saw her go and fetch the water?
I saw her descend down to the water. I followed her down to the water. Then she used this bucket, so she would stand in the water, fetch the water, fill, and then the extra one would be.
Did you talk to her?
Just briefly.
And what did she say? Is this downwards of where the people were bathing? So those who were bathing were upstream?
Yes.
And she's fetching the water.
So this is Pamfo Chrome, which is further down. It's a different town. So the other people are in Kwenyako. The ones who saw bathing are in Kwenyako. And the guy who was scrubbing his shoes, I also spoke to him about what he was doing. I said, but when the water make your sneakers dirty, he said, yes, but we don't have any other choice. This is what
he was washing his shoes in the water.
Yes, and his
somebody
clothes.
bathing in the water.
And his clothes.
And this lady and her son are fetching the same water.
The same water.
But I'd like to acknowledge the presence on the show of Dr. Mauli Lumo, just to let the world know he's joined us.
Sure.
He is the Director of Policy Planning, Research, Monitoring, Evaluation. Doc, thanks for joining us on the program. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Bernard, and good evening to your viewing public.
I hope I'm not spoiling your lunch or supper or whatever you are thinking of eating later with these photos. Again, because of the work you do, this shouldn't be surprising to you. But based on what you've seen so far, we've traced the Ayensu River for about 2/3 of it. We ended up in Winneba. And for what we've seen so far, is this surprising to you that communities along the river bank, some are bathing with the water, and some are washing in the water, and yet some are fetching the water to go to use in the house? Is this a normal occurrence along our major river bodies?
Yes, Bernard, I think traditionally that is how our communities have always lived. those who depend on the who settle close to rivers, and as you can see, a lot of the communities are actually named after the rivers. So all the people along that line, the river, depend on it for various uses.
And does the yellow color or brown color of the river and what David is saying about the sediments, does this come to you as a surprise, or in the course of your work, this is no longer surprising? Because I know we've done a lot of work on the Pra, on the Ankobra, on the Bonsa. I haven't had Ayensu a lot. Kwanyaku Headworks were closed. So Ayensu is new in the discussion about the effect of human activity on water. Have you done any work on Ayensu at all? And do pictures surprise you in any way?
Yeah, we do take water quality data at Macron on the Ayensu. So we do have the trend for, we do compute the water quality on the Ayensu. All of devastation that we witnessed recently came as a surprise, and not so much as a surprise. With the level of work that people are working on the river, and then also, I think this year the rains have also not been too favorable to us. They came very quickly and very shortly. I mean, they went away. So that also exacerbated the issues that they have over there.
So you're saying that Ayensu was looking more polluted than you would have expected because of human activity. Is that what you're saying?
Definitely. I mean, with a lot of people mining within the catchment, whenever it rains, all the runoff that enters the river carries a lot of sediments into the river. So as a result, this is what you see. But like I said, the challenge also is that I think we've had a bit of a drought within this period. And so the flows in there went down, and that is why how come the challenge has become very pronounced.
So when you took the data at the time you did, what was the data saying? Can you explain it to us? You said that the data showed that the water was more polluted. What metrics do you use, and why was that number alarming or worrying for you?
Well, at Macron in particular, it wasn't so alarming. If you compare, for instance, the total suspended sediments in the river and then the turbidity. If you check the turbidity for that Ayensu at the time, at Macron for Ayensu, this was just in July. It was just around 700. And 700 isn't alarming. If you go to the Ankobra, you are looking at the thousands, 2,000, some places 5,000. So Ayensu wasn't that alarming. Pra was giving us about 7,000. The Brim was also giving us 4,000. So if you are 700, that wasn't alarming at the time, as I indicated.
We went there only last week, so you may want to go back to check if it's still 700, because later on we will show you the Winneba side, and in fact the Kwanyaku side, the headworks have closed actually because of the levels of turbidity. So it seems as if the situation has escalated pretty rapidly between July when you went there and this past few days when we went there. So you may want to go back there to check the numbers, but I'm sure you are in touch with the Ghana Water Company as well. They have shut down their Kwanyaku headworks, which suggests that the water levels have worsened.
Yeah, Bernard, when this issue came up, we did go there, and we did take the measurements again. So actually around the Kwanyaku area, and turbidity, that's when the issue came up just recently. I'm trying to get the value for the turbidity. It was quite high though. But okay. The question was whether were we taken by surprise.
Okay.
So when we got there recently, we were looking at almost 9,000 plus.
We will take a short break and come back and get into Kwenyako and show what we saw. And later on, we'll go into the estuary itself, because we also noticed some interesting developments around the vegetation at the estuary. And I'm sure you'll get more numbers for us. This is the point of view. Tonight, we're doing a discussion around Ghana's declining water. And interestingly, the Ghanaian Times today had one of my guests, a doc, as the lead story. He was talking about the stress on Ghana water. But David Sechi has traveled along the Ayensu with some very troubling pictures. Stay with us.
When malaria strikes your home, it strikes everything. Sleep, peace, and even work. Don't miss deadlines because of malaria. Don't lose your sleep to malaria. No more endless worry because of malaria.
Olenoko, enough!
Fight malaria back with Vegetem. Vegetem is effective, safe, and fast-acting against malaria. With its alu-alu packaging, Vegetem tablets stays effective right to the very last tablets. Vegetem is also available in suspension for children. Vegetem, tough on malaria, easy on you. If symptoms persist after 3 days, please consult a doctor. This advert is FDA approved.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, mommy.
The second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late, of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. Go be the luckiest. Kofi from Georgia be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter what you luckiest. Everybody go be that luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God the apple boom. If you put it toye, so would the coming of the son of man be. Is that his car?
Everywhere.
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Welcome back. The point of view tonight, basically looking at the state of the River Ayensu as an entry point into the discussion around Ghana's water security, water availability. Ghanaian Times front page story, big story. Ghana's water resources decline, and policy, planning, monitoring, evaluation, and research has sounded an alarm that from 1,900 cubic meters per person in 2016, we are 1,500. If something drastic is not done, things will get very desperate indeed. David, let's talk about human activity briefly. And by the way, were people fishing in the water?
No, there was no point at which I saw anybody fishing at all. What I did see, however, in Winneba were left, maybe let me say, abandoned basket traps. Those basket traps that are used typically to catch fish in these kinds of waters and rivers. You know, but the baskets were abandoned there. That was at Winneba Headworks. That's what I saw.
We'll come there shortly.
Yes.
Let's go to the Kwenyako Headworks. So this was announced, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That they had closed the Headworks.
Yeah.
Walk me through what you saw when you got there.
Okay, so the first thing that I noticed was the vast chocolate brown water just sitting there still and almost lifeless. Okay, I didn't see this at the beginning, so this was what I saw.
Yeah.
Okay. Then later on, as we went into the waterworks, I saw the other one where the cascading water is. Okay.
Yeah.
So the cascading water. So this is the reservoir. This reservoir is the intake point where waters can come and sit in for, let's say, 3 to 4 months, just sitting. Okay. And then at a point in time, they now start to draw the water.
So they want it to settle
nicely.
nicely.
To settle nicely. The sediment and the silt will settle at the bottom. Then the supernatants, which are on top, they will now pump from that.
So the idea is for it not to flow, but to settle.
Good.
So if that water is brown, then you have a problem.
Then you have a problem.
Means it's not settling.
After 3-4 months of sitting there, it's still the same consistency. And I find it very instructive that Doc says that the first time they went in July, it was about 700, but it's shot up to over 9,000
at the Kwenyako side.
At Kwenyako side, you know. So something's wrong. Something's happening that we're not dealing with.
Do you have photos of the headworks itself?
Yes.
How it works? If you can show me that.
Yes. So can we see? Okay, so this is the entire infrastructure here. So this is the intake point.
Okay, on
your left. So it sits here. The water flows.
It's like a mini dam.
Yes, a mini dam. Right. So it sits here. Then these are the pumping units.
Okay.
Okay. So the intake 1, intake 2, intake 3. So it's here. So now we have a picture here. Good. This one. So it tells you raw intake 2. So this point here, these pumps will then suck up the water and drive them towards the other side where we saw the signage of the Kwenyako plant. That's the processing place.
So where do they apply the chemicals? Within the machine inside here?
Not here. Not here.
This is just to draw the water?
This is just to store the water, allow the sludge and the silt to sit down.
So the raw water they are drawing is this brown water?
Yes.
Which is why they said they couldn't
That's
do
why
it.
they've shut down, because if this goes into the processing plant, it will damage all the machines that are there.
Oh.
You know, and at that place, you're supposed to apply alum. Alum doesn't deal with it. They go to the next level, apply polymer. Polymer is not dealing with it. So what are you going to do?
So the water is untreatable.
It's untreatable, basically.
Amazing stuff. Doc, just to be clear, are you saying that when you did the test for Kwenyako, the levels were much higher than the 700 that you saw in July at a different part of the river? Just to clarify that, so we are on the same page. Is this correct, Doc?
Yes. So yes, at Mancron, as I indicated, I hope I pronounced the name right. When we measured it in July, it was 700. Specifically, the value was 768 NTU. But this time we went to the intake point at Kwenyako when the issue came up, and it was 9,000 plus. But then just a bit of correction with the submersible VA. The main purpose was to store water so that during the lean season, they can still have some water that they can pump.
Okay.
So with what is happening now, it simply means we are even reducing the capacity of that reservoir that has been done over there.
What does MTU mean? MTU?
It's simply, well, I usually find it difficult to pronounce it, inflatic turbidity units.
And the higher, the lower, the better?
The low, in fact, for raw water, we should be around 150. Highest should be at least 500. For drinking water, it should be less than 5. So it should be less than 5? Yes.
For drinking water?
Ghana water. Yes. Ghana water will have to bring this value down all the way to below 5 before they can supply to your home.
Wow. And even when you did it in July upstream, it was 700. And when you came to Kwenyako last 2 weeks, it was 9,000.
Yes. So to bring it down, that will be a sharp decline.
From 9,000 to 5. You need a miracle to get that.
Yes.
So at what point does water become untreatable? Can you apply enough chemicals to 9,000 for it to get to 5?
Well, I'm not a chemist, so I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly whether the chemical composition will allow the settlement. I don't know the amount. I can't tell you the amount of alum that they have to add to bring it down. But then, of course, the more chemicals you apply, the more impact you also have in our system. Additionally, the cost, which is very key, because at the end of the day, we all have to pay for our water bills.
Yeah.
So the more chemicals they apply, then the more money they will demand to be able to treat the water.
Do you also test the presence of certain chemicals in the water beyond just the turbidity? If you do,
oh yes,
is it possible to tell us some of the things you found in this Ayensu River?
Yeah, so there are a full range of parameters that we test. We test some of the metals. So we do test the dissolved oxygen. We test for nitrogen, nitrate. We test for biological oxidation demand. We test for hardness, calcium, chloride, and then some of the sulfates. So we test a whole range of parameters that we test.
I see. And what did you find? Because we are told by, at least from what David is saying to me, part of the river goes through Ayensu, where mining takes place. So the suggestion is that the silting of the water could have been occasioned by some type of mining in the eastern region in particular, which is upstream of the river. So I'm trying to find out if your tests confirm that this browning we're seeing and turbidity and silting can be traced to mining.
So the turbidity definitely will be linked to the mining, because what they do is to take off the topsoil, the vegetation cover, and so whenever now it rains, everything goes into the river. So of course the mining is the major culprit when it comes to the level of turbidity and then the sedimentation in our water bodies. It's the major culprit when it comes to the impact of mining.
All right, let's continue the journey. Stay with us. David, I wanted you to finish the Kwenyaku and go further downstream.
Yeah.
What did you see in terms of effect on vegetation? Okay. And also we'll come to the Winneba Headworks as well.
So I think they can help us by taking us to the pictures that address human activity.
Human activity.
Human activity.
Okay. So those pictures would show us what?
Yeah. So of course we saw the waistline for the Kwenyaku plant. So basically what's happening is that when the water is processed in the plant, whatever is left over, good. This is the picture. So over here you can see this is a young lady. I mean, estimates maybe 11, 12 years old. She was fetching water from the waist, which is like literally dripping water that's flowing.
When you say waistline, what do you mean? As in W-A-S-T-E?
Yes, yes. As in water that's wastewater.
That they treat from the plant.
What they've treated and what is left over that they are discarding from the plant.
And she was looking for water there.
She's looking for water, so she's fetching from here.
Water which is obviously polluted water.
Yes, and it's wastewater that cannot go through taps.
So what's she doing there?
Because, Bernard, there's no other water. So when you see this water, it appears clean to the eye compared to the Galamsey water.
But it's actually polluted water.
It's actually dirty water, right? And her family are sitting at the top there. You can see the top there, okay? And so she has come here to come and they are washing, by the way. So she's come here to come and fetch some water to also go and join them.
I see.
The scary part of it all for me was this fall here that looks maybe about 10 meters long.
Wow.
Okay, that if she slips, and of course, you know, constant water produces algae, which means it's slippery, right? So I'm just wondering to myself, and it's all rocks here, if you can see the rocks here. So if it slips, that's it, you know, but it's like the dangers that people go through
to come and fetch
fetch water to be able to live a regular living that we all.
So the communities you visited, did you
granted.
get to any town where they are pipe-borne water?
Well, Winneba has pipe-borne water.
Okay.
You know, but again, the stories are that Winneba's water is dirty and is brownish.
Let's come to Winneba.
Okay.
So you are done with the waistline story.
Yes.
Winneba is further down, right?
Yes.
On the map, Winneba is further down.
Yes.
It's probably the last big town before the river empties into
It's the last big town, yes.
Is there a water treatment plant there?
Yes, so it's called a Winneba Headworks.
Winneba Headworks.
Yes, Winneba Headworks. So
is it functioning?
It's functioning, I had machines on when I got there. So at this place here, you can see, and that's Bernard, that's the troubling part for me, because if we have shut down Kwenyako, it's the same river. It's just further down. Maybe it's collected more trash and waste along the way as it's moving. But again, maybe it's also being fed by other streams.
So this is the Winneba Headworks?
Yes, this is the Winneba Headworks.
And it's functioning?
Yes, you know that.
So is it the water they are treating?
This is the water that's in the dam. This is the dammed water.
At Winneba?
The one that's supposed to sit for a few months before it's then pumped. And
so this water is being treated and sent into people's homes?
Into people's homes, yes.
This water?
Yes.
Did it get cleaner as you went down?
No. It doesn't.
It's the same brown?
It's the same consistency.
Are you serious?
It's the same brown, yeah. You will see it. You see other images of it as we go.
So they are treating this water?
Yep. Yep.
That's interesting.
This cascading here, apparently is supposed to create aeration in the water, allow oxygen and air to get into the water, which also then makes it combine with things like sulfates and other heavy metals, iron, manganese, and so on in the water. And when oxygen combines with them, it turns it from soluble to solid, so that it separates from the water to try and clean the water up. But at this point, this kind of silt that's in the water is, is untenable. You can't live with it,
Did you speak to any of the people at the waterworks at Winneba?
There was only a watchman who was there, so.
But you're sure the machine was working?
Oh, I heard the machine working.
Really?
I heard the machine working, yes.
Any other pictures from Winneba for me?
So yes, a number of other pictures from Winneba. If you can just go through the
Winneba, if you can, let me see. Wow. So this is the water yet to be treated?
Yes, yet to be treated.
By the way, viewers, this is, when did you take it? Last week?
On 21st of September.
Okay, so 9 days ago.
Yes.
What's this?
So these are the basket traps. So these traps typically will be placed in the water and will be left maybe overnight to trap fish. So what you do is that you turn the opening. Okay, this is the opening. This is the open end. You turn it southwards, so the upstream will hit the back of the because all fish that are edible flow upstream.
So if the fish is flowing downstream, it's dead?
Yes.
So then once they flow against the gravity,
other
they enter the
creatures
basket.
like snakes also flow with the water. They also flow downstream.
So you don't catch
So if you turn the opening to face upstream, you would rather trap snakes and other creatures that you don't want. So they turn the back of the basket trap so that the water hits the trap and the fish are moving upstream,
and they
will go into the trap. Yes, but nobody's fishing. That's the story of this picture. Nobody is fishing.
They've abandoned the basket traps.
They've abandoned them because there are no fish to trap.
Is it that the fish are gone on vacation or they are dead?
They are dead, most likely.
So you didn't see anybody fishing on any part of the river?
Zero, nowhere.
So this is a better one.
Another one. Yes.
So this is the opening.
So this is the opening. Yes.
So you turn it.
So the back here would be sitting on this side, and the opening will be here.
Wow.
So that the water is flowing this way.
So no fishing in Ayensu?
Yeah.
But people are bathing in it?
People are bathing in it.
And they are using it to do other things?
They are using it to do other things.
Do you know whether they were cooking with it? You couldn't tell?
From what the lady said to me, the lady who was with her two kids, and she was carrying a bucket and the water as she was going to cook with it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, I don't believe you.
Oh yeah,
Show me something.
We will have to go back and go and
food will you cook
and talk to them again.
But all right, let's go further down. Did you go to the estuary?
Yes, I did.
So this is
where I think we can go to the estuary to go and look at what happened at the estuary. It's different stories that
where the river meets the sea.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Is there a lagoon at some point?
Yes. So you see the lagoon. The approach to the on the approach, you see estuary approach. You see the lagoon there.
Wow.
And,
all right.
Okay. So we can actually see it on here.
All right. So let's.
You want us to look at this one here?
Yes. Just talk me through.
Yeah. So we can see. So that's the approach. This is the lagoon. So you see, it's moving through the mangroves.
So this is water after the treatment plant.
Yeah.
Further down.
Much further down.
Okay.
Much further down. And Bernard, look at the. No, let's go back to the previous picture, the first one. Yeah. So the mangroves on the right. You see that they are dying.
They are turning brown.
Yes. That's death. That's happening to the mangroves. So I'm asking myself, maybe why is it happening? It's just a matter of time, or is it something in the water that's killing it?
So are you saying that this ordinarily should not be?
It shouldn't be that, no, at all. And you know, mangroves don't easily, I mean, when you kill the mangroves, you're finished. You know, because mangroves are very, very important for protecting the wetlands.
Are you able to show me the difference between the river water and the sea water in any shot?
Yes. So let's take a look at the difference between the river water and the sea water.
All right.
So, there we go.
Okay.
So this picture.
So the river water is the brown.
Yeah.
And the sea water is the blue.
Yeah.
So we are mixing it.
So that's what's happening here. This is the estuary now, and this is what we are getting. And you can see that on the big screen.
So we are emptying dirty water
into the sea
at Winneba.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I need to think through this a bit and come back to Doc to take some concluding thoughts on this issue. So from the top all the way down, brown throughout.
And I must say, Bernard, that in the Bunsu Hills where the water originates, this is not the color. It's clear, drinkable, water. But now, this is what we have here. If Galamsey was to stop in the Ayensu, I'm sure in a few months, it would have cleared up, because the source of it is not brown, so honestly, we need to do better. We need to do better.
So this is still at the wetland?
Yeah, so now we're looking at the mangroves. We're looking at the mangroves now. Yeah, and the reason why I took this picture here was what I saw in that corner where a couple of trees have been affected, So I'm asking myself, how long before these get affected? Will they be affected or will they survive it? I don't know.
And how thick is the water?
Quite thick. Quite thick. I mean, there's a set of pictures that I have called residue from Galamsey. When you see the residue, you can see what the water is carrying.
Are you able to show me that?
Yes, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at residue from Galamsey. There's a folder called...
That suggests the type of sediments that have the proof of the effect of mining.
What is sitting in the water as the water is moving.
Residue from, what is this?
Yes, so it's just a regular rock that's in there.
But the rock is brown.
That's a classic. This one, that's my favorite picture from the whole trip.
So this is supposed to be a normal rock.
Yes.
But it's looking golden.
Yes. You see, and you can almost...
So the water can't wash the rock?
No, but you see, Bernard, what's even where the worst of it all is that this crust that you're getting here was left by the water.
Wow.
So it came from the water, and you see what Doc said. Doc said that we've had a bit of a drought, so water levels have dropped. So that's actually is the evidence of what Doc was talking about. That the water levels have actually dropped.
Residue of whatever
from the Galamsey water
on the rock.
On the rock, silt.
Any more pictures on residue?
Yes, there's more pictures of residue.
Can you flow through? Let me see.
Yeah, let's go through. So you can see.
Oh, all over.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see it. All this is left over. So imagine bathing in water that has all of this. This is what's going on your skin. So we're talking about health issues. Okay.
Wow.
We haven't even spoken about cyanide. We haven't spoken about mercury. Those things that are reportedly being used to process the gold during the Galamsey process.
If there's a farm next to the water body, and they use this water as the main source of, there's going to be all those things entering the plants as well.
Yes. And I actually have a picture like that where we look at its impact on vegetation.
But let's finish residue and look at impact. Impact from, so this is really interesting. So you have impact on vegetation.
As well, yes. So looking at impact on vegetation, you will see a river body with a farm next to it. If we can show that.
A farm?
Yes.
Next to a river body?
Yes, next to it.
Amazing. Wow. Yeah. All right. So this is Agona Osedu.
Yes. So here you're seeing cocoa farm.
Yeah.
Interesting thing. We'll get to that picture we're talking about shortly.
Yeah.
But this is fresh leaves. These are fresh leaves.
Yeah.
The light brown type. Fresh leaves. These are dead leaves.
Coexist on the same tree.
Coexist on the same tree, and these are diseased leaves.
Wow.
Okay. Now the story of this basically is that something is poisoning the cocoa.
You are sure of this?
Something is poisoning the cocoa.
You can't have the same tree with three.
You can't. No.
Three levels of leaf color.
Unless
on the same tree.
Unless it's been poisoned. This is the only way you will see this.
Unless it's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
It has experienced
in the garden of
good and evil.
Because above, if there's the this is the tree Adam and Eve ate. Because there's dry leaves.
Yeah.
There's undeveloped leaves. And there's diseased leaves.
Yes.
All on the same tree.
All on the same tree.
And your point is that something is poisoning.
Something is poisoning the
Were there lots of cocoa trees along the route?
You can see this was. Look at that.
Were there lots of cocoa trees along the route?
Yes. In certain areas, you can see that that's what they do. This is a farm, and this is very sad.
A cocoa.
Yes, this is an cocoa.
What is sad about it?
So the farm here, Bernard, you can see cassava. Have you seen cassava here? We can see cassava. Yeah. We can see plantains. We can see different crops that are being grown here. Their source for watering their plants are here. This is a source.
Wow.
So whatever this is carrying
will enter.
Is going into the crops.
And this is central region.
And this is central
10
region.
districts or more.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. This is still the point of view. Tonight is a photo journey along the channel of the Ayensu River. Kweku David Sechi and his team took lots of photographs, and it's quite a serious story. The Kwenyaku Headworks have been shut. The Winneba Headworks are still working. One wonders what kind of water people in Winneba are drinking, because that's the water that's entering people's homes. We still have our guest from the Water Research Institute on the line. We'll be back to conclude. Stay with us.
Uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa dear. Why wouldn't he be late? Or being late, of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. Yeah, you go be the luckiest. Go be from Georgia, be luckiest. From Natepia, cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be lucky.
Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Remember who we are singing now. At risk of prostate enlargement. We a member or her. 20 ebitimi prostate cancer. 5 bitimi afamu na dia obefamu.
Actually, this is not my fault.
And to wada entina medi mani Executive Prostate Center.
Executive Prostate Center is a unique medical center where we harmonize in-depth traditional medicine with cutting-edge science and technology to cure, to treat, and to prevent diseases like prostate enlargement, prostate cancer.
Executive Prostate Center. Madame home. Facilities no any professional medical care.
Sisi a bibia clear system no. Ye nro ne so de natural. Into we koso afama ye.
Executive Prostate Center. My cured.
The point of view tonight is on a journey along the river Ayensu, speaking about the effects of pollution, predominantly galamsey. Let me come back to Dr. Mauli Lumo. Doc, yesterday you made all of us very worried when you spoke at the World Rivers Day in Accra. Can you elaborate on the main point you were making about the levels of water stress Ghana potentially faces? Put that in context for us.
Okay, so we compute and report annually the water stress levels. And basically, the computation is quite simple. we have what we call the total annual renewable water. So if you take Ghana, we are estimated to be around 53 billion cubic meters of water per annum. Then we are also looking at our population. So the simple is to divide our total renewable water by the population. So you can see our population is growing, but the total annual renewable water doesn't grow. In fact, so if you have a constant annual renewable water and then your population is growing, the amount that each individual in Ghana is entitled to is reducing. So as of 2016, we're hovering around 1,900 thereabout. Now we are almost at around 1,500 and something. So the numbers keep declining per share of everybody. And this is, as I said, is the total renewable water. So that includes the polluted water, right? So if by nature, by design of nature itself, we are getting less water to us, and our activities is polluting what we are already getting, then we are moving towards dangerous grounds. And possibly, as happened in South Africa sometime about 2 or 3 years ago, government will have to step in and limit the use of water for particular locations depending on the stress level.
Is the Water Resources Commission able to say categorically that the biggest threat to our water is galamsey? Are you able to say that without fear or favor?
Yes, I can say that the biggest one is illegal mining. I think sometimes what people confuse the two is especially the jam or small-scale mining into, and they call it galamsey. But there are legally people who are doing the right thing. It is the illegal ones, because there is nowhere that any of the institutions will issue a permit for somebody to go and mine in a river. It won't happen. It won't happen. So all those who are sitting in the river and mining and washing right inside the river are all illegals. And every effort to apprehend them has always been difficult. We have had people who even, security people who have even died in the efforts to apprehend these people, because they will just jump into the river and then swim away. So that is the challenge that we have, is the illegality. Those who have genuinely gone through the process to acquire their permits are guided to mine and mine sustainably. But those who have refused, and seems that the illegality, because there's benefit in the illegality, they don't pay anything to the state, they don't take any instructions from anybody, they dig where they want, how they want, and that is what is causing the problem for us.
Thank you for your time and for your work. We will all work together to stop galamsey and illegal mining. That was Dr. Mauli Lumo, Head of Policy Planning, Research, Monitoring and Evaluation at the Water Resources Commission. Thank you, Doc. So, David, finally, after 2-3 days of work and all you've seen, what's your final thoughts on?
You know, the central region was plagued with a disease called dracunculiasis, also known as guinea worm.
Okay.
Some years ago.
Yeah.
About 2015, we seem to have gotten on top of it. It's a disease that is known to thrive when people don't have access to safe drinking water. It's a parasitic disease. So if you don't have water at home, clean, fresh water to do all your things, and you're forced to go to the river, I'm afraid it may not be long before we have the onset of guinea worm once again. So this is what is facing us. It's not just, so it appears that, okay, the water is dirty, that's the biggest problem, but it's more than that. There's an energy issue. People are mining under great power lines. There's a health issue, skin diseases, guinea worm, other gastrointestinal issues that are coming up because the water is not safe to drink, right? All of that.
And then there's also agric.
And there's also agriculture, you know, and the challenges that come with that. Our food, is it safe to eat? What's in there? Where are the cyanides? Where's the mercury, arsenic? All these things that people are using to wash their gold, you know.
Wow.
So those are my thoughts as I go through these images. That's what really hits me. And okay. So.
Thank you for your work. And it's not very often that you do a photo journalistic work in this very clear manner. So we thank you. We usually show videos, but I think the photos capture the moment in their salience and seriousness. So thanks for watching. Tonight we've been bringing you a story on the threat Ghana's water bodies face using the Ayensu River as a case study. Ayensu because it's much closer to those of you in Accra, but also it has not really been mentioned in Galamsey as the Ankoba and the Pra and others have been, but it's becoming quite a prominent one. We know the Kwenyako Headworks have been closed. 10 districts have been affected by this closure. Winneba is still producing water. The quality is nothing to write home about. So let's join the clarion call to stop Galamsey now. Thanks for watching tonight's edition of the show, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.